I've been spending a week like in Yerevan. I really enjoy. Even on Sunday, I got wet because everyone poured water on my head. So I've been really enjoying. Also, I'm teaching a lab here, and I have 17 very bright Armenian students. They are amazing. Some of them are here also in the audience. I'm so happy to have them here. So I have one more week until this Friday, then I'll be done. But when I come back to America, because I'm from America, I will speak a lot about Armenia and Yerevan and people here. So again, thank you so much for having me here. So I don't want to spend too much time for introducing myself to you, because it is not that important who I am, but then my message might be a little bit interesting. So again, this is me. I'm going to talk about what is empathy? What is design? How can we make the world a much better place to live? I found Yerevan and Armenia such a beautiful place to live. You have clean water, you have like nice people, food is amazing. I went to Lavash restaurant like yesterday and Sunday night. The food was amazing. So I want to stay and live here forever. But anyways, so how can you keep everything beautiful like this? How can you make it even better through design? Because I'm a designer. More specifically, I'm an industrial designer. I've been designing a lot. So I have 29 years of experience in design. Sometimes my device is not really helping me, but it does now. So I've been really busy designing many things. I was an automotive designer since 1978 back in Korea. I was busy designing many automobiles that you are seeing here. And I worked for Kia, I worked for General Motors. So I designed many automobiles. I also designed the furniture, which you will see soon. If you get a chance to visit Korea at the airport lounge table is my design as well. So my design was everywhere in Korea. Also, the designs that I made automobiles were sold in Europe and sold in America. So I was really happy to see a lot of automobiles. And then I began teaching at an American school at University of Cincinnati, 2003. And I also been designing a lot of autonomous delivery robot, many technological stuff. So I've been really busy. So, and then like 1 year ago, I began teaching at SCAD University in Georgia, America. Not the Georgia here, but Georgia State in America. So I've been really busy designing many things. And there are many designers like me who are making chairs and furniture, tools and toys, and shoes and clothing, everything. So designers like us are making a lot of stuff. When I was young boy in Korea, Korea was a poor country. But now, Korea is not really poor because we are making automobiles. A lot of your phones are made by Samsung and LG. So we are doing really good because we work really hard. So, but the trouble is that when we get really busy designing and making a lot of stuff, it is not always good. Well, it is good because we are making good products for everyone. But once in a while, after looking at what we have today, you see a lot of troubles as well. For example, in this movie, which is a very famous movie, I bet you know Charlie Chaplin. Charlie Chaplin's movie, it talks about humanity. He doesn't talk about how technology can benefit us. He talks about humanity is a very important thing for everyone. So in this movie, Modern Times, he is saying that when we begin really busy making stuff and using a lot of stuff, it is not always good. The most important thing for human is humanity. So my lecture today, not lecture, presentation is about how can we keep the humanity as a designer to make our place live, a place that is a much better place to live. So he's a little bit, exaggerating, but it's actually true. When I was busy in Korea, I worked, days and nights. I worked through Monday because there was no Sunday for me and Saturday for me because I had to work as well. But as a result, we began rich. But at the same time, we are missing a lot of stuff. So today, my focus is now Armenia will become, how can I say, busier country. There will be a lot of industry here, and you'll be making more stuff like we did in Korea. But how can we then not to lose our humanity? How can we make our place better place to live? So designers are making beautiful stuff like your iPhone and Galaxy phone or computers and shoes and everything. But as designers are focusing on making beautiful stuff all the time. We are talking about technology. We are talking about market share. We talk about how can we make more convenient products. How can we make things that are selling better. All these things every year, Apple is making iPhone 14, 16, whatever, and we are buying all of them. But is it always good? On the back side of the flip of coin, we are seeing a lot of trashes like this. I have iPhone 1. I don't know where it is now. Probably you have iPhone 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 too, but then they're all gone to the junkyard like this. We are seeing a lot of news about plastic bottles in the ocean. Animals are dying because of our, plastic water bottle. When I finish drinking this water bottle, it will go to trash can. We are hoping that it goes to the recycle bin, but it doesn't really go there. It goes to the landfill, it goes to the ocean, and it is actually making our whole world much worse place to live. We are trying to make ourselves live better, but actually the things that we do all the time, things that are making us really busy, actually are making our earth much worse place to live. Climate is getting worse and hot and really crazy everywhere. Why is that? So how can we work smarter and live smarter so that when we design things like this, it doesn't make our places like this? I often learn so much things from the children's movie, children's animation. We are all grown up, so we don't think that I can learn something from children's book, but in fact there are many truths that we are learning from them. Here is one thing. If you watch the movie WALL-E, this is an amazing movie. It was already so many years ago, but WALL-E talks about two very important things. In this part of the movie, this little robot called WALL-E is traveling everywhere, collect a rubbishes and to organize rubbishes because human made things like this, and then they all left to the space, and then they abandoned Earth like this. So I don't know what is happening in Armenia, but in America they are consuming too much. They are eating too much. Their bellies are just big like this. They are fat, but they're still drinking a lot of Coca-Cola over there. And they don't walk, they drive. They drive 1 minute to go to right next door. And they are really becoming lazy because we have too much energy, too much resources. People become lazy and people become, they don't do anything. So how can we keep, this earth from becoming like this? America is trashing a lot of things. They are sending things to different countries, like Mexico, for example. When I was walking on the street in Yerevan, there are many buses from China. And the buses say on the side that this is gift from China and gift friendship between Armenia and China. In fact, the buses are really old. They are making a lot of smoke. So they are dumping the buses to this country. So that's what we do as a human being. That's really bad. So how can we make, whether you do industrial design or business or whatever you do, how can we stay awake and keep our planet much better place to live? In this movie, it talks about spend more, use more, and sell more by and large. So it is actually making things like this. As an industrial designer, when I make designs, when I'm hoping that my design can sell more and better, I'm also thinking that, am I contributing to the effort that is making the earth like this? I hope not, but we are doing it. So we need to stay really awake, what is really happening around us. So all the people who made the earth like this went to the space in this spaceship called Axiom. In this space, which is a really gigantic spaceship. All the human beings are in the spaceship. It has technology that we are trying to get. Now automobiles become autonomous, right? Your smartphones are getting smarter and smarter. When your smartphone becomes like smarter, we become dumber because I don't remember my phone number. I don't remember my name too. So when you have too much in technology around us, we become less useful. I drive really well, but about 10 years, if I buy a Tesla or if I buy a car that is like becoming like autonomous, like driving, I don't have to drive anymore. In about 10 years, I will become someone who cannot drive anymore. I have two cars. One is very new. Another one is really old, like 25 years old. When I drive 25-year-old car, I can park really nicely, like everyone does in Yerevan here. I can park really nicely. Another car that I have, I press a button, it'll automatically park him. Okay. If I use that button all the time, I won't be able to park as I used to. Then I become less useful. That's really dangerous. Now, Tesla, I don't know if you are driving Tesla or not. If you have a Tesla, then you need to pay attention to the road when you're driving. Even if you are putting like your car in autopilot, you pay attention too. Because if something happens to your car, you should be able to take away and control the car. I will be able to do it. But someone who never driven any car before, they wouldn't be able to do it. So human is human today, but human in the future, when every technology is everywhere, I don't really know. So this is what is happening in the spaceship. Cars are driving autonomously here. Like this. And it is kind of floating everywhere. When someone wants say that I need a Coke, then there's kind of Coke or drink automatically come to you. So someone is driving, everyone is going somewhere, I don't know why, but everything is like highly technological. And still they say that you need to buy and think something large all the time. And then this is like what is happening here in the spaceship. So the person on the chair, automatic chair, is like trying to dump the drink to the robot, Wally, but then he falls. Then when some accident happens on the street, it is automatically managed too. So everything is highly technological, really smart. But as a result, the human in whole, everyone in the spaceship becomes like not human anymore. Now they are wearing red, but when they say today the color is blue, then every clothes becomes like blue too. It is like a smart fabric. It is everything is like really highly technological. But look at the human; they are not really human anymore, right? So this is now the cockpit of captain. So captain is like waking up, but you are seeing the captains before. They look like us. But as time goes by, because everything is technological and no one has to do anything by themselves. So this is the current captain, right? He cannot even get up by himself. He cannot, wash his face anymore. I become like that already. I become lazy, and every day. Someday I'll become someone like this, right? So everything's automatic. You don't have to, shave anything. You don't have to wash your face because everything is done by, something automatically. And then when in the morning when you wake up, you want to get a cup of coffee, and coffee is automatically made as well. So captain now goes to get the cup of coffee to the table here. So coffee is there. Now he goes to his kind of mission for the day. He cannot reach the coffee. This is what is really happening. I don't really want to be like this pilot, but everyone in the spaceship is like that. So what he's talking about? Well, technology has been evolved. It is going to evolve even furthermore. Everything will become much better. But what we are forgetting is like we are neglecting a lot of things that we shouldn't be neglecting. So, as an industrial designer, I think that industrial designers are really cool people like me. I design a lot of awesome automobiles and furniture, a lot of awesome things. And my automobiles that I designed were sold a lot in Korea. So I became so famous in Korea and USA as well. I've been teaching at a university in America for 15 years. I became really famous. But, but if I forget about what the result, like dark result like this, when we are just like blindly following technology and the beautiful stuff and sweet food all the time, we somehow become somewhat like those guys in the spaceship. I don't want to be like this. So industrial designers are very important people like me because we are making everything that you are using. If you like your shoes, because someone designed it, like that. If you like your bag, someone designed the bag. If you like your automobile, someone designed it. So we are doing that. But we are really actually cool because we do this. Designers, if you want to study industrial design, I want you to think about empathy. Empathy is nothing other than thinking about others and value others. You and I are different. You and I are same because we all have two eyes and we have body like this. But we have different culture. We have different language. Some are richer than the other. Some are poorer than the other. We are all different. So empathy is like thinking about others. So how can we treat others as we do? For example, that is empathy. It is the beginning of design. Many people are thinking that designers like me or some of you are drawing and making something beautiful and useful, but actually the starting point is like thinking about them. So when I see children like this, when I see old people on the street, when I was at the bus station in Yerevan, because I was waiting for the bus to go to Yerevan Mall, and the bus never came. I had to wait until the bus comes up. That's not really enjoyable. And at the time, the weather was not really cool, and air was not good because all the Chinese buses were making a lot of smoke. So I was not really enjoying that. In Korea, if you go to Korea, for example, if you're waiting on the bus at the bus station, you will know which number will be there So it'll say that your number 55 bus will be there in 2 minutes. So you don't have to worry about anything. Here in Yerevan, you don't know. Everything is at the mercy of the bus driver. So when I was at the bus stop, I thought that maybe technology can do something about it. Designers in Yerevan can do something about it. It doesn't cost you too much money. Because if you catch your taxi on whatever app, it shows you where the taxi actually is. You can apply the same thing to the bus, and you know where the bus can come. It doesn't cost too much money. It needs someone paying attention to the trouble that we are actually having, right? So on Sunday, I really enjoyed your Barber, something like that. I really enjoyed it. That was fun. And that it was a hot day, so getting some water was not too bad actually. Do you know how much water Yerevan wasted on that day? Several hundred tons of water. In Africa, a lot of people are dying because they don't have water. Some countries like Armenia have plenty of good water. You don't feel like anything guilty when you are throwing water away. Some people in Africa are dying because of the water. Interesting. So I'm teaching a lab here at TUMO. And the topic we are doing is like, let's reimagine water. Because in Armenia, you have plenty of water. I went to see the lake, Sevan Lake, was beautiful, clean water. So you are not worrying about water. Like in Korea, when I was young, Korea was known for clean water and beautiful mountain, like Armenia. But now water in Korea is not clean. It's kind of dirty because of all the factories that we have now. And water in Korea, maybe here as well, is more expensive than the gasoline. We never thought so. We thought water is kind of free, but water is not free anymore, right? So in my lab, we are saying that let's think about water when you have plenty of good water here. We need to think about how to save water, how to keep the water, how to use water smartly. I don't want to kill your tradition, but let's think about it, right? Anyways, industrial designers are good people, not only because they make awesome products that you love and enjoy, because the industrial designers are thinking about other people, okay? So I'm going to give you some examples how designers actually work. I don't cook because my wife, is really good cook. But if you enjoy cooking with your wife or with your husband, here's one story. There was one American businessman called Barber. He really enjoys cooking with his wife. And they were getting old, but they were like cooking something with a potato. If you cook with potato, I know that Armenia has really good potato as well. You need to peel the potato. So to peel potato easily and comfortably, you need to put the potato in the water often, right? You have potato peeler in your hand. You are peeling the potato. I tried that a few times, but when I do it, this potato peeler in my hand slips out of my hand. So Sam Barber loves his wife, like I do, like you guys do. He found that his wife has like arthritis, pain in the kind of finger joints. So holding the like potato peeler tightly like this is not easy. So that one is a typical potato peeler that you can buy really cheaply, okay? And potato peeler here. So if you grab the potato peeler and peel the potato, it's not really enjoyable, especially when potato peeler is, slipping out of your hand. And then, so he began focusing, because it is like beating of empathy. It is not about the tool. It is about how much he loved his wife. That was a starting point. So he began thinking about, how can I make something better than this? So all the potato peeler was focusing on the peeling of the potato. He was not focusing on his wife's hand. That's more important. Now tell me, which is more important, potato or your wife's fingers? Your wife's fingers are more important than the potato. Come on. So now new focus is someone's hand, okay? Not the potato anymore. So they've been designing things like this. On the right are the prototypes. He tried to make a lot of different, designs of it, which handle can be more comfortable to hold it for a long time. On the right-hand side is like what is called OXO good grip potato peeler. Like that. So new opportunity. But at the beginning, he was like paying attention to his wife's kind of pain. And then it began a new opportunity to make it for everyone. So he opened a new company called OXO. Okay? So OXO Good Grips, he began with that potato peeler. Now everyone really liked it because it became much more comfortable to cook the potato. So the company began so successful. So they began making all other kinds of stuff. It's all paying attention to how to make the hand more comfortable. I say that one small opportunity began his company making so successful. And if you now go to any kitchen, tool like stores, you can buy a lot of similar tools like there, because the beginning point was really small. How can I make my wife happier when she's cooking with potato? It became a really good opportunity. I'm going to show you another one. So at the beginning here, the empathy point was that how can I make my wife's hand more comfortable? It was like he was thinking that, well, there are many other people who have a lot of the pains like this. And then he began making a company, and this is like this innovation. It became a new innovation, and it opened a new business opportunity, and all products for everyone, and with or without any arthritis. I don't have arthritis yet, but I will be happy to use a tool like this. Okay, so it is impact of design, starting with a small empathy. When I was teaching at the University of Cincinnati, I talked about inclusive design. Inclusive design is designing something for everyone. Imagine that someone on a wheelchair wants to go top floor. Can they really go there? No, they cannot, because there is no way to climb the stairs on a wheelchair. So inclusive design is like making something for everyone. This is a smartphone. But if I'm a blind person, I cannot make a phone call on this phone because it doesn't work for the blind person. So since a lot of us are kind of able-bodied people, you can see my presentation, you can hear my talk, you can actually walk. So we are able people. So you don't really see too much trouble of those guys who cannot do what we do, right? So I was walking a lot of streets in Yerevan. I haven't seen anyone on a wheelchair, but I'm sure that there are many people using wheelchair in Armenia. If you go to Korea, you don't see anyone, but there must be a lot. So why they are not visible? So in my class, Ryan Eater, was thinking that inclusive design is a very valuable thing because it is designing for not only for few people, but everyone. So, so he thought maybe inclusive design is a very good thing to help many people. And then one day he went to the gym, and he found a person on a wheelchair came to the gym and do some exercise. That was the first time he paid attention to. Again, when you pay attention to someone who is having some trouble, it is beginning of empathy. You are opening some eye to something that you never thought about. So then he would follow him to see what is the trouble. Imagine that you are on a wheelchair coming to a gym, and a lot of fitness machines in the gym are not designed for the wheelchair because the machines have a chair already. So there is no space for your wheelchair, right? Even if you find a machine where you can, come with your wheelchair, you grab some handles and pull down the rope, for example. You're expecting to get some exercise on your arm, but in fact, your wheelchair will move back and forth. So your wheelchair will get exercise, not you. And a lot of wheelchair users, they are not only uncomfortable with the legs, but they don't have strong hands as well. So they cannot really hold the grip really well. And also, on a fitness machine, depending on your weight, you need to adjust your kind of weight. So you need to pull out the pin and put it to a different, weight. Well, if you cannot use your finger really well, you cannot really do it. So he thought about it. He followed the wheelchair user. He talked with him. He also met with a lot of doctors to see what are the typical, challenges of the wheelchair users. He also met physical trainers as well to collect a lot of data about those who are on a wheelchair because typically they don't really come. He was imagining that if a lot of wheelchair users can come to the gym, if they can get exercise, then it is good for everyone, right? So he made a scenario like this. This is current problem. A lot of things here. Since your wheelchair is not secured, your wheelchair is moving back and forth, and also it is kind of painful to grip your handle like this. There is no way to adjust weight easily because their fingers are not strong as yours, for example. So all these pain points became his opportunities to make a new design. So he found that there are 7 areas of challenges. He began developing designs like this. He made a lot of sketches, how he can make it different so that people can use the machine better. And this is further developed the design. For example, in this case, let's say right here, he was thinking that instead of pulling the pin out and put the pin back, he thought maybe making some buttons to select the weight will be much easier for them, okay? So he developed a lot of small details on the machine, and this is the final design. On the left, the person on a wheelchair can secure the wheelchair and exercise. In the middle, someone without a wheelchair can do the same exercise. So that was like a fitness machine for everyone. So when he was graduating in 2006, that was his final project as a student. And he got so many awards. So he also get a lot of money from foundations so that he can start the company to develop it. This is the same machine. In 10 years, it became much better. Now it is working with your smartphone as well. So you get a notice from the machine, hey Sooshin, you worked out last week, and you learned so much and you gained a lot of energy. Why don't you come back to continue, for example? So that machine is now already installed at many places. Now people on a wheelchair can come to get more exercises. So those are really good way of using industrial design to benefit more people. The beginning point was him to paying attention to someone on a wheelchair. The last example is this. We all enjoy privacy, but you can have someone to help you. But if you are getting old, cleaning your house is not as easy as it used to be. But you don't really want to have someone to come into your bathroom to clean up, because bathroom is your private spaces. So you don't really want to have someone come into your private area. So a student at SCAD actually thought about it. He went out to see a lot of old ladies and gentlemen to see what actually makes the life not easy. So he began making some sketches like that. So those are people who are living in assistive housings, and he designed some quick models to ask them, is that comfortable for you to use to clean up your toilet or not? He developed a lot of different designs, and this is his final design. On the right here, he made a series of cleaning tools for the old people who don't want to have someone to come in to the, clean the, bathrooms. So again, this is really good example of paying attention to someone who needs some help, and that is really good start of designing something new, and it is making our world much better. Again, empathy is beginning of everything. It is the ability to understand others and different kind of value and culture and desires, and wants and thoughts and experiences. Because when you don't see someone, you are ignoring them. But we need to pay attention to those guys who need some help, because it is the humanity that keeps our earth a good place to live forever. Otherwise, if you're just following the technology and money and wealth and everything, our earth will become like the earth in the movie WALL-E. That's not going to be, enjoyable place to live. So that was my message today. If you have any questions, if you want to send an email to me, on the right bottom is my personal email, actually my school email. I'm open to any message from you. But thank you so much for your attention today.